Welcome back to my Mental Health and Crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is the case of the Idaho quadruple murders. May the 4 victims rest in peace, condolence to their families, and may justice be served.
You asked for videos or anything from the community to help put together that timeline. We obtained a copy of Twitch video, and family members of the Gonsalves family were able to identify Maddie and Kaylee in those videos at a food truck ordering food. Is the police department, our investigators, aware of that video, and has it helped put together that timeline?
We are aware of that video, and it has helped. It gives us a time and space where we know that 2 of our victims were, and that helps us a ton, and we'll continue to follow up all leads that we can and continue to gather those.
Any indication of a party at the home that night?
This will be the last one, okay, I understand. Not that we know of, not at the home. We know that the other, let me get the names exactly right here. We know that Zaina and Ethan were at a different party on campus, but still help us if other people know about that.
This was the first police conference after the quadruple murders. When the chief was asked if there was a party in the house, you can clearly see that he was hesitating because he wasn't definitely aware. Information obviously was coming in, but I expect these are the things they should know from the start. Was there a party in the house, or was there not a party in the house? Because if there was a party in the house, it is crucial. It could have been someone in the party who was asked to leave, who could have taken it too far. Let's not forget that Steve Congavs said in the beginning there was a hell of a fight in the house. People were defending themselves, obviously. We've been told that the victims were sleeping in the beginning of the case when this happened, when the quadruple happened. Then later along the line, we find out that some of the victims were actually not asleep, and some of the witnesses were not even in the second floor, like it was said in the affidavit. So what is up with all these changes? What is up with all this lack of information? When the police did this press conference, I believe it was 2 days after the quadruple murders. Wouldn't it be right that they had all the information properly? When they're hesitating about if there was people in the party, if there was a party in the house, because rumors were going around in the beginning that there was a party in the house. And that makes a big change if there was a party. Then we hear the chief mentioning that Ethan and Xana were at the party. Obviously, they were at the party in the Sigma Chi fraternity. So was Bethany Funk. It took time for the police to put out the information, asking the public, obviously that means the Idaho Moscow public and the students, to give an information about the couple. Where were they at that night? Xana clearly told her father that she was going to be at home, and that was at midnight. But the police say 9:45 to 1:45 at night that the couple were at the Sigma Chi. What happened in the Sigma Chi? What exactly happened at the Sigma Chi? We've heard that there was a fight that broke out. We know that there was a brewing fight that was going on between Ethan and the Davids. We've been told that there was a fight in the Sigma Chi, and the main thing that people are not focusing on, the Sigma Chi fraternity was under investigation. I want to know why exactly were they under investigation? Because if the police needed to ask the fraternity, the Sigma Chi, for information, they would have put them under interviews. They would have interviewed them. They wouldn't have put them under investigation. When you're put under investigation, the police doesn't have to say it out loud. That means you're a person of interest or people of interest. So I find these informations to be crucial, but then later on we are told not to speculate. I believe that this case was handled in a very unprofessional way to begin with. Idaho should have just got their media crew, their own police press conference to speak for them. There was so much misinformation going on, and I don't blame us, the public, for that. I blame the misinformation that was coming from the police themselves. I do understand that this was a quadruple murder, something that Idaho hasn't seen before. So I don't expect them to have the things, have the information in check. But now they've had at least 2 days, so they should have known, was there a party at home or wasn't there a party at home? And why the Sigma Chi boys were under investigation, why the fraternity was under investigation. Did they come back for revenge? Let's not forget the quadruple murders was an ugly murder. It was really, really sad, and it was really bloody. I don't believe a random person would just come into a house and unlike 4 people that they have no connection with. We saw 5 figures or 4 figures running. That is a fact. Is that the reason the Sigma Chi was under investigation? Because of the 4 figures running? If you put 2 and 2 together, it's 4.
With KHQ, on September 12th, there was a Vandal Alert that was sent out about a potential stabbing threat on Paradise Path. Does this have any connection with what we've seen so far?
Not that we know of it, but we're following up every lead. Every piece of information we get, we are following up to ensure that nothing has gone unturned. We want to have the individual identified, who is the suspect of this eventually. So we are literally looking into every aspect of everything.
I find that to be an interesting question. On the 12th of September, some young student, I don't know if the person was a student, pulled up a knife and threatened people near the Paradise Street, I believe. It wasn't far from the campus. So now we have an incident of somebody pulling up a knife in public. Could there be any connections with that? Because if the person wasn't scared enough, wasn't even scared enough of the police to do this in public, imagine what they could have done at night when people were sleeping.
Limited information over the past couple days. I mean, we're almost 4 days into this. Why has it been so limited?
Yeah, it's a difficult, we have a lot of information coming in, and, we have tried to push out some information through press releases, but the reality is, I probably should have been standing here a day or so ago, but I'm here now. We're going to continue to be here. We're going to continue to give you the information we can. We care about this community. I care about this community. I've worked here for 27 years. I want this community to be the safest community around. So
the mayor's called it a crime of passion. Is there any indication that that's true?
We're looking into every aspect of this. I'm not going to stipulate whether it's one thing or another. We're going to continue to investigate until we have the facts, because really it's the facts that will drive what the cause of this is. And as we gather evidence, we'll get that. So,
when we are told in the South that a lot of misinformation has been spread, let's start with the authorities and the mayor himself. I do understand at the start people were guessing and such things, but we are the public. The public speculate, rumors flow around. But when you have the mayor himself saying that this was a crime of passion, it rings bells. It's about being mindful. By the mayor saying that this was a crime of passion, obviously people are going to run away with it. And I want to know, was this a crime of passion? I'll give you an example. We have Jack D, who was the ex-boyfriend of Kaylee. Kaylee was moving to Austin, Texas. She was taking the dog along with them, the dog that they share. Jack was following Kaylee on Instagram, but Kaylee wasn't. We saw the text where he put in that, "I love you." Kaylee ignored it. So crime of passion, could it come from there? I'm not accusing anyone, I'm just asking the questions. Why would the mayor say that? Because the mayor is obviously informed by the police and the authorities about what is happening. The wording that was used in the beginning was really strong. Targeted attack. But they weren't sure if it was the victims that were the targets or if it was the resident that was the target. Then the mayor says crime of passion. At the start, we were told the surviving roommates, the chief said, were just there, that they're not witness. But 7 weeks later, they became witness. Make it make sense, because this definitely does not make sense. You have the mayor saying it's a crime of passion. That's a strong sentence to put in. The wordings of the police, the mayor, everyone involved in this case was really, really unprofessional. When the quadruple murders happened and the police finally came there after they were called 8 hours later, I'm sure when the chief and the detectives came and they looked at the crime scene, something or someone gave them that idea that this was a targeted attack. So who was the target? Was it the residents? Was it one of the victims? Was it all the victims? Steve Congalves said that the killer didn't have to go to the second floor. He could have just gone to the third floor. But I disagree. I believe he went to the second and third floor. I personally, this is my own opinion, I believe that whoever was targeted was in the second and third floor. Others, common sense would tell you there's no reason for the killer, or killers, should I say, with the S. I don't believe this was one person who did it.
Really, it's the facts that will drive what the cause of this is, and as we gather evidence, we'll get that. So,
one last question, if I could, Chief. Have we looked at any boyfriends or any ex-boyfriends, any spouses, as a potential suspect?
I will tell you, we are looking at everyone. Every tip we get, every lead we get, there's no one that we're not going to talk to. There's no one we're not going to interview. There's no one that we're not going to look into. And we're going to do our due diligence. We're going to make sure that nothing goes unturned, and that we do everything we can with the assistance of all the resources we have to get a final answer.
Thanks, Chief Wright.
That is good. But my question, Chief, is that have you all taken DNA of all the people you all have interviewed? Because 3 unidentified DNA, male DNAs, was found in the house. So have you all taken DNA of all the people you all interviewed? Have you all put them under